Hi everyone, it is the 12th of December and it's already nighttime, but if you watched my previous vlog, you know that I have filmed a clip this morning talking about the book that I finished yesterday. But then what I did is edit and upload the vlog, and I also watched some booktube, and I especially refreshed my memory for what concerns Percy Jackson, because for this third challenge, the outrageous obstacle course, I'm going to read this one because I have to read an action-packed book, and this is the last book in the series. I believe that these vlogs are going to get shorter and shorter, especially for what concerns this challenge and the next one, because they're last books in a series. So, sorry about that in advance, but I am so excited. I refreshed my memory and now I have read 50 pages. I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to power through this book tomorrow. I just wanted to film something today because it's a 3-day challenge. So I've started this book. This is the book that I'm reading, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hi everyone, it is the 13th of December and I am 183 pages through The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan, and the prompt, the challenge, was to read an action-packed book, and I think I chose well because this is definitely action-packed since the beginning, because a lot of things are happening and I'm not even halfway through and the battle is already starting, so I'm so excited for that. And I don't really have a lot of updates because things still have to happen and I do not want to spoil. If I'm going to spoil something, I will warn you, don't worry. But I just want to say that that chapter with Luke's mom was so creepy. If you read this book, you know what I mean. So creepy. Also, I think that a lot of characters are very funny. As usual, a lot of mythical creatures, a lot of Greek gods, and I'm loving it. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of updates because I want to know what happens, because Percy now knows the prophecy, the full prophecy, and I want to see how this all wraps up and ends because I'm so curious. I don't really know what I'm going to do for the activity. The activity for this challenge is to recreate a TikTok dance or a TikTok trend, and I'm not really good at this. I do not do a lot of TikToks. I did a few last spring when the first lockdown happened, but I do look at a lot of TikToks. I like TikToks, so maybe later I will browse and see if I get some inspiration, but yeah, I'm not prepared at all. Another great news is that tomorrow my dad is coming from the US. I haven't seen him in over 11 months, almost a year. I think the last time that I saw him was the 10th of January 2020, so almost a year ago, because he came here for Christmas, and we usually see each other during the summer, but that didn't happen because of COVID. So we're gonna spend the holidays together because he had the opportunity to come, and he's coming, and he's gonna take, you know, the COVID test and everything just to be safe, obviously. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and I'm going to continue on with this book, and I'm going to update you when exciting stuff happens. Hi everyone, so it's 12:30 a.m., so it's past midnight, and it's the 17th of December. I know, it's been 3 days. I did finish The Last Olympian, I'm going to talk about that, but I just wanted to say that clearly there has been a change in plans. I am now going to do one vlog for 2 challenges. So this is going to be the DCG vlog for challenge number 3, which I already completed, and challenge number 4, which is Dunk Tank. And I have to read a book that features water, either on the cover or in the story. I'm going to read The End by Lemony Snicket. We're already on the last day, but fortunately this book is shorter than the other books on my TBR. It's, I think, 6 hours on the audiobook, and if I listen to it 2 times the speed, yeah, it's going to be much easier than the other books that I read. I also have to do the activity, so something with water. I'm going to do that in the morning or during the day. I did the activity for the third challenge, that was to do the TikTok dance, I did a happy dance because I received some new books. I can't wait to film my book haul. So this is the TikTok. I really wanted to do the out of body effect. I just kept seeing that on my feed, you know, on my For You page, and I wanted to do that and I thought it was fun. So yeah, I did that, and now I'm going to catch up and read the end and do the activity for the 4th challenge today, which is the last day, but it's fine. The reason why I didn't vlog the past 3 days, as I said, my dad came from the United States, so I just wasn't in the mood to vlog. I took a break and I spent time with my family. That's the reason why. And now I'm back in the game. It was a much needed break, you know? Vlogging every day is stressful. The Last Olympian was fantastic. Unfortunately, this is not a favorite series ever because I feel like I am not too old, but that I would have very much enjoyed this as a middle schooler. Or a kid, I don't know. But it was still very good. I have no complaints, honestly. I love that it's so action-packed and things happen since the very beginning. And we discover what actually happens, you know, the prophecy and all that. I'm going to put a spoiler warning here, so when this comes off the screen, the spoilers are done. But yeah, I was expecting Percy to not be the hero that the prophecy was talking about. Percy was such an obvious choice that I really didn't fully believe it was going to be him, the hero the prophecy was talking about. And I'm glad it wasn't, because, you know, the chosen one trope, it still is a chosen one trope, but I'm glad that it was Luke and not him. Also, I really love the friendships in this. Selena, oh my god, and that scene when she sacrificed, you know, she dressed as Clarice and wanted to kill the Draken, but she ended up getting killed, and Clarice coming to her side. I love that, you know, friendship that they made. I teared up. 2 tears came out of my eyes. And then a sentence later we discovered that she was the spy, and I was like, what? I also really loved, you know, the friendship to love trope that happened with, you know, Percy and Annabeth. Percy thinking about Annabeth when they offered him to, you know, be a god. I don't know, I think I would not want to be a god either. But yeah, I like that he made the other wish instead. There's a lot of sleeping and visions in this one, because, you know, we discover things about their past, about Hades and Nico's mom. That was a good part as well of the book. There's not really much to talk about this book. It was just a good book. I have no complaints. It wrapped up perfectly. Also, Rachel being the new Oracle. Yeah, I was expecting that. And they can't have partners. Why is that? I don't know. Or at least I don't remember why. I usually give 5 stars to absolute favorite books, but even though this is not an absolute favorite, I believe it's a really good book. I think it's my favorite in the series. Anyway, I'm going to start the end now and talk about my feelings when I have them. So, good night. I will talk to you in the morning. Yeah, I wasn't feeling creative for this activity, but fortunately I use a lot of water during my day. You know, I took a shower, I drank some tea, I drank some water, and I saw a lot of people do like water inspired makeup, or they went to the beach. I didn't do any of that. While I was filming these clips, I've been repeating in my head the audio on TikTok. I don't know if you know this one, but I think it's from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm not sure because I haven't watched that, but the audio goes, water, water, water. It repeats water a lot of times, I just had that in my mind. I am almost done with the end. I have 1 hour left, so I'm gonna do that before I go to bed, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts about this book. Hi! So it's the 18th. Before I start my last book, I want to talk about the end. And I don't know, I don't feel satisfied. Because there are a lot of things unresolved. Okay, so I'm going to put spoilers on the screen because I'm scared to accidentally, spoil you because it is the last book. But the end is about the Baudelaires and Count Olaf going to an island, like a stranded island, because they go away with that boat and then they end up on this island. And it was perfect for the prompt because, they were on a boat at the beginning of the book, so there's water. But they end up on this island and there are these people who, thank goodness, didn't believe Olaf's disguise. It's like in every single book, the people believed that he wasn't Count Olaf because he was in disguise, and only the Baudelaires knew that he was really him. And these people on the island immediately knew that he was Count Olaf when he tried to disguise himself as Kit Snicket. And I found that funny because he kept calling them primitive people and they were the most intelligent of them all. I've heard a lot of people say that this reminds them of Lost. I just thought about Robinson Crusoe, like that classic that I studied in high school. There were characters named Friday, Thursday. Anyway, there's this community on this island that I don't want to say that they have a king because he lets them do whatever they want, kind of. His name is Ismail, and they take the Baudelaires in and they throw Olaf in a bird cage. So they start, living their lives on this island, and they're not happy because they don't have a lot of stuff. They live with very little. Every time something ends up on shore after a storm, Ismail kind of convinces the people, to not take these stuff because he wants them to live a simple life to avoid conflict and such. But yeah, they're unhappy, and then all of a sudden Kit Snicket ends up on shore. She's pregnant, and yeah, Olaf dies because he gets hit by Ismail, and there's the medusoid mycelium spread. Yeah, it was weird. I knew something was going to happen to Olaf because I didn't think something was going to happen to the Baudelaires. But something definitely was going to happen to Olaf because, the series has to end. And Lemony Snicket talks about how the story of the Baudelaires isn't over with the series, and it didn't start with the series. So there's a before and an after. I like that. But something had to happen, to conclude this book series. And Olaf died. We discover that Beatrice is the Baudelaire's mom because they call the kid Kit's kid after her, and now they're parents basically, and they're raising this child. How? I don't know, because they're kids. There are a lot of unresolved things. Like, the main thing that frustrates me is the sugar bowl. I don't think they never told us what was that about, Esme and Beatrice fighting over this. I hope they do this better in the show because I really want to know more about that. And also, the Quagmires, where are they? They went away in the 7th book, the Vile Village. We see Quigley, but then we never see them again. And Hector, They were briefly mentioned, but, we never had closure. I guess everyone in the hotel either died or escaped. We never hear about them again. It's more of an open ending. I've also been thinking about the moral of this story. Like, what is the message that Lemony Snicket wants us to know, or the kids to know? Because let's face it, this is a children's book. And I've been thinking, adults are idiots. That's it. Adults are idiots. I don't know if I wanted the Baudelaires to be with someone. Maybe I did. Like, I really wanted, like, Olaf to go away, and then finally, after all these months, they have like a good guardian, maybe a Snicket. But no, they end up actually being guardians of a newborn. That's crazy. And yeah, adults are idiots. They are raising a child and raising themselves, and yeah, that's it. I think Lemony was drunk when he wrote this book, especially the last one. But overall, I really enjoyed this book and the series. I'm taking it as it is. It's a children's series. I am not satisfied. I do not like how it doesn't resolve everything, but it's a good book series. I know that at the beginning it's very repetitive, but then there's mysteries, you know, and I think it's good for kids because you learn a lot of vocabulary, and it's different. It has different vibes, you know. I enjoyed it as a 23-year-old. I love that Sunny grew a lot in these books. You know, we really see her grow up, and these kids went through so much. They even assisted a labor, you know, birth of a child at the end. I'm like, what have they not seen? You know, they've seen death, they've seen birth. I wish the show will conclude everything better, you know. So I'm going to just say that I maybe have to reflect on it more, you know, think about it more, but I really have to upload this vlog. So those are my thoughts at the moment, like right now. I'll talk to you guys in my next vlog. Last vlog, I can't believe it's the last vlog. We're almost done. It's the last challenge, and I'll talk to you later.